A couple minutes later, you guys, temple, doors are flung open. Not really, you guys open the doors. And Tempest, Tempest, Mercury, and Joanna walk in to the Temple of Man with Tempest flanking Tempest.
Okay.
Is this him? He says, pointing to blank.
Out of character? That's rude. Why is he pointing at me?
Also out of character, I'm going to leave this to Joanna. He is the diplomat amongst us.
I'm gonna look Slate in the eye, making sure he's ready.
And I'll just nod.
Yes, Tempest, it is. Allow me to introduce Blank Slate.
That's a peculiar name. Tell me, boy, how did you come to such an odd name?
It is a name of my own choosing.
You mean you chose that name?
Yes.
I'm sure there must be some story about that.
For another time.
So, why have you brought me here, Slate?
This is a neutral location, and being that I am imperially sanctioned, this is a place of comfort.
Ah, yes. That is fair. It has been quite a long time since anyone from the Imperium has landed on this planet, he says, looking over at Joanna as well. Well, being that you are not a psyker witch born of this world, and that you do understand and respect the authority of his emperor and those above you, I would hope that you would lend me your services to protect and help my city.
And what kind of services are you looking for?
May we speak more privately? And he looks over to the priest, who motions toward the room that you were in previously.
And I'll put my hand on the shoulder of the priest. No, if he has something to say, I would prefer we do this more openly.
Unfortunately, I cannot, well, priest, would you be able to, clear out your temple for me? The defense of the state cannot be left to even the most devout ears. I hope you understand. Then the priest kind of waits for you, Slate.
Ooh, that's a fun one. Yeah, I'll go ahead and nod and motion to allow it.
The priest walks down between the pews and begins ushering people out, but after he closes the door, he simply turns around and remains in the room.
Yeah.
Thank you, Benedictus. And he turns back to Slate. Well, I'm not sure how much, Lady Joanna or Mercury has told you, but there are more and more of your kind and people being born of this world that are quite peculiar and not what I've ever seen before. So to know that there is someone like you, someone who is sanctioned, someone who is disciplined, it would help me to weed them out whenever they pose a threat.
Are we speaking of mutants? Or those afflicted by the warp? Or more psychers?
I'm not entirely sure. I know that there have been a few low-ranking, or lowly capable psychers, but mutation has begun to grow rampant. I am speaking, though, of things arcane and mystical, things that I've no experience with. Things that defy explanation.
And I'll look at him. You'll have to elaborate for me.
He reaches into his cloak and he pulls out a strand of shards and holds them out like a necklace, and then with a flick of his wrist he flips them, and they all cascade into an orb surrounded by very precisely moving objects. I have no idea what this does, what the mechanism behind it that makes it work are. All I know is that one was thrown into a battalion of Rankin soldiers, and the next moment they were all vanished from the world.
I'd like to make a Forbidden Lore test. Warp.
Alright, go for it. No bonuses, just straight test.
Yeah.
You look over the object and you can tell quite obviously that it is something not of this world, but it is not entirely something completely by the designed in the Immaterium. Though you feel from it a pulsing, a yearning to escape from the ebb and flow of the warp.
I'll give him an odd glance. There's a very odd force emanating from this. There is a bit of warp, but I'm not familiar with this.
Yes, I've had scholars from all over the world look at these artifacts that we have collected. Some say that they were written about in ancient times. Some say that they are completely new abominations. But none of them have been able to tell me where this comes from and what it is for. And yet, those that threw them at the battalion knew exactly how to manipulate them to kill 60 of my men.
I have to ask, where on this world are these assaults taking place?
Map. They are taking place all over, from the wilds to the shores of the Oknut, and recently they have come up into the Rankin. The first time I encountered them was on the outskirts of Artsdorf, between Ranetier and Artsdorf. A young man ran out of the wood and stuck a single pole into the ground and forced Valanthia to shake with such a reckoning that none were able to keep their feet. After this, he simply smiled and vanished, and took with him his staff. But there have been sightings of this from Mordu to Azariah, from Britannia to Aladar. They have become more and more aggressive within the last 10 years. And I'd like to know why. Unfortunately, the necessity of me protecting this city and the island of Rankin, or the island of Rank, prevent me from going out anymore to do my own investigation, which is why I need people like you to be my eyes and ears.
Is this still a conversation between him and Blank, or was that last part addressed to all of us?
All of this has been addressed to everyone in the room.
Oh, well he's been specifically talking to Slate, because we don't know...
He's directly talking to Slate, but you can all hear this.
Well, I know we can hear it, but I meant, like, was that last part addressed to all of us, or was he like, I specifically need someone like you?
No, he's addressing to you, obviously you three.
Okay.
For that last part, yes.
Oh. Okay. That's all I was saying. Everything up to that point, I haven't had anything to say. 'Cause it's like, look at this warp thing. I'm like, oh, that does look like a strip of
Shiny.
paper with some crystals on it.
It looks like it's worth something.
You say that killed 60 people, huh?
I want one of those.
These two I can understand, but are you really saying you see any value in me?
Are you saying that to him?
Yeah, that's...
You are a compatriot of the Arbitrator, are you not?
Recently.
Well, if she trusts you, then... And if you are of any use to, then I assume that I would be able to use you as well. Be it in her stead or in my own.
Well, thank you.
Bert, you've proven yourself so far.
Like I said, I'm so fucking honored. Thank you.
Thank you, Senpai!
Yeah.
Oh, dear God. Yeah, Blent's kind of a wild card here, so I'm waiting to see what his reaction is.
Yeah. All he has to do is say "fuck you" to Tempest, and we're all dead. So.
Well, you guys are dead. I just go invisible.
This is Blank. We trust him. He's our compatriot now. I don't like you, Tempest. Die in a fire. Boop.
Yes.
Well, I heard what he said, so we'll keep looking for him. But you two,
anything that's useful in the situation? Resistance. Wait. Scrutiny is a basic skill. 18. Do either one of you have scrutiny?
Yes.
Would one of you roll it for me?
Yeah, okay. Well,
I'm gonna go with him.
scrutiny, it's open. You can also...
Good. He seems perfectly honest.
If anything, he seems like the most honest, like, everything he said is beyond true.
Oh, we are so screwed.
In fact, you believe it completely.
Good.
I mean, you failed by like a wide margin. Your character believes what he says. Like, entirely.
That was an 87.
Good.
So, Roger, where's that now? Hmm?
Huh?
Not that it matters for Roger, because Roger doesn't get to know anything, even if you did.
That's not what I'm talking about. I said thank you, and I got this.
Yeah.
He rolls an 87, believes everything Tempest says, and Roger's like, yeah.
It's an arbitrator. And he hasn't been working the shaft all day.
But yeah, even if he had passed, I just would have, like, anything that I would change, I would probably just whisper, because you wouldn't get to know it anyways.
Mm.
Just so, for future reference, if one of you does a scrutiny test, it's not like you're all immediately aware.
Yeah.
Right.
What, you mean we can't talk mind to mind?
I know, right?
No, we would need to have ciphers for something like that.
Well, not to talk mind to mind, you'd need a psyker who can do that for that. Otherwise, yeah, you'd need a cipher or some other way to gesture it during conversation to express what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, it's... Joanna believes him completely.
Good. Good. Should I assist the Rankin in these matters? What would the Rankin do in terms of compensate and support?
Well, obviously you would be paid a salary for your services to the Empire. Is there anything else that you would require?
Well, being that we are new to this world, I've barely this robe on my back, and if we need to journey about this world, we might need more than just what we carry.
Of course, of course. If I was to send you out, of course I would equip you to be able to handle the journey.
Wait, I think we should take him up on it.
Yeah, see, the arbitrator believes me. She thinks I'm cool. Why don't you guys be like the arbitrator? Come on, Slate. I'm pretty cool. Look at me, I got muscles. I'm
One
ripped.
of us, one of us.
Gooble, gobble, gooble.
Slate me the vote on this one.
How much of the
I've
world
never worked
does
for a salary before, so that sounds pretty nice.
how much of Valanthia do the ranking control?
Well, in terms of sheer percentages, I would say about 30%, about a third of the world. Though, with your help, I suppose we'd be able to bring civilization to the wilds once again and expand our empire.
Very displeasing look on my face.
This troubles you?
If I were to help with these matters, it would not be for conquest. I'm merely interested in punishing witches as I find them.
Very well. I mean, if you merely wish to assist the people, then that is all you will be done. I will never send you into conflict with the Akhnat or any of the wildings that you deem uncorrupted.
I'm gonna motion for the priest to come towards me.
He looks nervous. He nervously kind of walks around Tempest and then approaches you.
Oh, are we losing Zach?
I don't know.
Are we?
Your
I can still hear you guys.
your video is completely paused.
Oh, that's good.
Yep. Anyways, come on, Zach. Come on back.
Back?
That's loading for me.
It's loading.
Anyways, he approaches Slate and
What the hell? That's such a
puts his
weird
ear next to your mouth.
Yeah, and I'll take an aside. I have a lot of leverage over Tempest at the moment, it would appear. Does the Church of Man require any assistance monetarily or protection from the guard?
He looks at you a bit warily. I wouldn't trust Tempest's demeanor as much as you seem to be. But no, the Church of Man stands only for his Emperor, and the guards do not harass our followers. I require nothing from the Rankin.
Thank you, brother. And I'll motion for him to go towards the pew, or the big
The door.
altar thing.
Okay.
Am I still a spinning circle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Get a better internet connection. Or get me to set up your modem, because apparently your family didn't know how.
Modems aren't that hard to set up.
They're really
They're literally plug and play, and that's it.
They are. I feel like somehow the firewall on your modem is like going crazy and blocking Skype.
Well, it is
No,
Skype.
I've just had really, really bad internet for the last 2 or 3 days.
Good.
So, still a spinning circle. Because I'm looking at Twitch, and that's like 2 minutes behind. So.
No, you're still a spinning
Oh
circle.
yeah, you're still a spinning circle on Skype.
Excellent. This is all the best things.
Just drop the call and come back.
All right.
Good, he's gone. What the fuck? How's that
Oh,
work?
there he is.
See, that works. Just gotta drop it, come back.
Okay.
It's gonna be kind of annoying.
Anyways.
Except
Blank.
he's still kind of clippy.
Yeah, no.
I particularly
Mm.
Blank, carry on.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. So.
Tempest, I will require a moment of privacy with my colleagues to mull over my decision. But before I do you have any kind of incentive for me?
Incentive.
no.
No.
I'm not fucking killing you.
No,
Yeah.
I suppose besides offering you work, I have no other incentive. And he smiles to Joanna and Mercury and says, I will let you all discuss this as you need. Please, tomorrow, appraise me of your decision. And he
It just gives us a lot of time.
Yeah, we're gonna get jumped on the way out of the temple, aren't we?
He walks out the temple, opens the door, and Joanna or Mercury, if you'd like to... Actually, no. Whoever has the highest perception of the three of you, do perception plus 20.
37.
Minus 36.
Oh, there you go. I think you just won.
Yeah, you definitely have a higher perception.
So I'm sorry.
Plus
Me
20.
plus 20? God, how do I fuck this up?
Every time, man.
I know. Yeah, Zach's just so bad. Anyways,
72 and a 64. I nailed my silent move to murder Salamander.
as the door swings open, the light difference kind of messes with your eyes, but you can swear that you see an entire contingent of heavily armed guards standing outside of the temple.
Oh boy.
Did they, like, follow behind us without us noticing? Or were they just... whatever, I didn't notice, so I guess it doesn't matter.
And the door closes.
It was probably to make sure that we didn't start anything. So if we did, they just crashed through and slaughter us. Anyway, Blank, I seriously think we should take him up on the offer.
I'll have the priest come back over.
The priest approaches you. Well, the priest approaches all of you. You all kind of huddle together.
Yeah.
He looks
Brother,
more than a little nervous.
Brother, you didn't seem like you thought he was on a level. What are your concerns?
Not that he was on the level, but I didn't believe that you held as much sway with him as he led you to believe.
He totally thinks he's superior, but there is still the fact that he's letting us choose how we'd like to help. Whether that'll change in the future, maybe not. I can talk to him, but I do think we should take advantage of that while we can to do the duties that we've been assigned. Not by Tempest, but by the Imperial.
Yes, and what he offers might benefit all of us. And he looks at Slate. if you are able to make your way to Graia and find out what happened there, perhaps you can shed light through the storm and warn the Imperium.
Why Graia in particular?
It was the Forge world, or it was the main forge on this planet. It was the capital, or it was to be the capital of this world before it was shut down. The tech priests are very... From the histories, the tech priests are very intelligent people. I believe that they may have a means of amplifying your ability to send a signal out through the storm.
If they are of the tech priests of old, they would have plenty of knowledge of the warp. Have you any idea of the state of Graia currently?
I've been sending small small segments of missionaries on pilgrimage there to make sure that no one has attempted to assault it or plunder it for goods. So, as far as we know, it is still sealed and entirely the way it was left when the Forge world was dismantled for this trade world.
Benedictus, does Tempest know that you believe Graiopha can do this?
I've not made my opinions of Graia known to Tempest, no.
We should keep it that way.
And it's sealed. Do you know if the tech priests are still there, or did they leave the world when it was closed?
I've no idea. It is entirely possible that there are tech priests in Graia still, working away inside. It is a large enough structure, and they are ingenuitive enough to be able to maintain a small, when I say small, I mean a couple 100,000 people living there without needing to leave the Forge.
Of the pilgrims that you send, did any of them make note of maybe a means to enter the city? Or the Forge, rather?
Yes, I have some pilgrims that live in town that have heard tales of a few pillagers who've made their way into Graia and have come out. So that just totally fucked us over.